everybody. Welcome back to Work It, You Are Worth It. I am Dawn. And I am excited this week to share a story with you that um, actually, it for me, it defines recovery. It defines my life. It defines um, what the journey was. So basically, I guess this is a follow up to last week's video. So, the we everybody experienced the world shutting down, and I had started recovery a little over a year before the world, COVID hit, and we were all kind of locked into where we were, and that was scary for me because I had just learned to start living my life. I had finally figured out to how to go out to dinner by myself, to take myself on dates, go to movies, um, go to the casino and be able to spend 4 hours taking myself to a nice dinner and um you know playing some slots and just looking around and being discovering the what life kind of had evaded me for so long. I didn't It's not that I hadn't done those things, but it always was based on someone else and what they wanted to do, and so that's how I lived my life. And then COVID hit, and I was stuck in this apartment. And it's not like that I don't love being at home, because I do. I love my space. But now I was kind of back to those alone feelings where I was forced to sit in who I was and what I was, it's kind of like I had to take a step back. I was forced to take a step back. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all because I was so excited. Um, and because like we couldn't travel, um, and that was one of my big things that I wanted to start doing, was actually traveling on my own. And because I couldn't, my sister, who lives in northern Indiana, was like, "You should come visit." So I'm like, "Okay." So I made the first trip and had a wonderful time. Came on my way back, I decided I was going to stop overnight somewhere and try to get back into go to find a hotel that I could still have dinner, could have a drink in the bar. And I did. I stopped in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and stayed at this really nice hotel and had a wonderful time. Well, all of a sudden I realized that, okay, well, driving up there by myself, because that's what I did. I got in the car and I drove straight through and drove back by myself. I traveled completely by myself on the road. It wasn't so bad. I kind of liked it. So a few months later, I got back in the car. It was the end of October. Because, oh gosh, it's been a few years now. 3 years now? 2 years now. 2 years now. And drove up to my sister's, stayed a couple weeks there, and then decided I was going to come back through and stop in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and spend a couple of nights. So this way, I had one full day to do what I wanted to do, and I'm a work in progress, so I kind of had to build up. I had to kind of build up to traveling, by myself. And so I did. I I got a hotel in Gatlinburg, and the night I got there, I went to dinner, and the next day I had done so much research figuring out what I wanted to do while I was there. And I knew I wanted to go horseback riding in the mountains. I knew I wanted to walk downtown Gatlinburg and see the sights. I had decided I found the restaurant I wanted to go to and take myself out, on a romantic date. And so I had everything laid out. when I knew where I wanted to go for breakfast. So that's what I did. I got up the next morning and I went on my horseback ride up through the mountains, and it was just so surreal, beautiful. And then I went for breakfast, and there's nothing better than getting breakfast in a really busy restaurant by yourself, because like there's no wait, because they can put you in the corner. And so that's what happened. And then as I was walking through town, I noticed this ski lift, and I'm like, I wonder what that is. And I saw this bridge. So, um, Gatlinburg has the longest suspension bridge in North America. I am horribly afraid of heights, and I'll fly, but that's about it. And I was like, I want to do that. And I sat at breakfast and I could like see the lift, and I could see that. And I was so scared, but I was like, I want to do this. There was something about it I wanted to do. So I got my ticket and I got on the ski lift, and we went up the mountain on the ski lift. That part wasn't so bad. I'm not going to say I was a little apprehensive, but it wasn't that far off the ground. So I made my way up to the suspension bridge, and I get up there and I'm looking across the bridge, and Gatlinburg is just a beautiful place. The mountains, the Smoky Mountains are just breathtaking. And I really wanted to do this bridge. So I kind of took a deep breath and started crossing over, and I don't even think I got it, maybe an eighth of the way through. And I realized, and I never considered, there's other people on this bridge, and it's bouncing and it's swaying, and I'm right. And it's scary because the fear of it breaking, the fear of, just the fear of the uncertainty. And I stopped and I thought about it. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I kind of, okay, now I know what it's going to do. So now I can kind of like work through that. So I kept going, and I got a little further, and I just stopped again. Because it was just literally the stop start process. And I just wanted to turn around. I just wanted to go back. I wanted to go back to be on solid footing. I wanted to go back and feel safe. So, but as I turned around, I'm looking where I had been, and I'm like, no, Dawn, no, don't do this. Turn around. So I literally just I did a 180. It all happened in just a split second. And I kept going. But then I got to the middle of the bridge, and unaware, they have was it 2 glass panels or 3 glass panels? You can see the ground. And that's where, that's where the I froze. The fear, the fear of wanting to turn around, wanting to go back because it was so hard. It was so scary. It was so tough, and it wasn't hard, right? I'm just walking across this bridge. Yes, it's moving. Yes, it's scary. But I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think that I had it in me. There's no way. There's no way Dawn could do this. And let alone walk across these panels. And so I'm looking down, and I'm just stopped. And I kind of had come to a realization that like I couldn't do this. That was just too much. There was no way I was going to be able to cross these panels. I tried to take a step, and I couldn't put my foot down. I guess the concept of the glass shattering and me falling to my death, which is inevitable anyways. So why would I be afraid of it? Like in that case, like it's going to happen someday. But who said it was going to happen then? And so I'm like, I'm debating what I'm going to do, but I was really ready to turn around. And I looked down for a second to just process. And I looked back up, and here comes this cutest old couple with their little dog, their little white dog. And I have a little white dog, and they're just walking across, and the dog's just walking across. And she had a cane. And I was like, what the fuck, Dawn? It hit me so hard that here are these people that are not double my age, but right, probably 25, 30 years older than I am. 40, maybe even they might have at that point been 40 years older than me. And they were doing it. There was kids doing it, which, right, we know that kids are automatically resilient and they will do things, and they just don't live in fear as much as we do, or as we do as adults. But here's this couple that could do this. And I was like, what are you doing, Dawn? I want that. I want that. I want to be at 80 years old, walking across a bridge and not be afraid. That doesn't mean I don't have apprehension. That doesn't mean that there's not that in it for a moment. But I don't want to be that person that fear is literally stopping me from living my life. And so I was like, took a deep breath, and I was like, you can do this. I hurried across those glass panels. I'm not even going to say I didn't. I didn't look down. I didn't stop. I just got across. And it didn't get any easier, but at this point I'm across the glass panels. So I still wanted to turn around, but now what did I have to lose? Like, I already made it through the toughest part. I made it through glass panels. I would have to go over those again anyways. No matter what I do, I have to go over these glass panels. So what the hell? Might as well just keep going. So I did. And when I got across, I realized that I got a view that I wouldn't have gotten on the other side. I wouldn't have gotten the accomplishment. And the minute I stepped off that bridge and was on solid ground, I wanted to jump up and down. I probably did say, I did it out loud, but I wanted to jump up and down. I wanted to celebrate. I wanted to celebrate me. And I should have just threw my hands up in the air and been like, yes, I did it. Who cares what everybody would have thought? Because they weren't living in my head. They weren't living in that feeling I had, the feeling of accomplishment. And I have pictures, and I think if I'll make sure I'll put on the website, which it's going to be down at the bottom again. So you can go on the website and see a couple of the pictures. But I was rewarded. Yes, I thought it was with this view at the time, but no. What I was rewarded with is now I'm not afraid to live. Again, I get the apprehension. I have picked up kayaking, and I've picked up, I started camping, and, and then traveling. Like, I'm not afraid to do any of that anymore. Yes. Am I scared of some things? Sure. But I'm not going to let it stop me from living my life. And that is what recovery is. Recovery is scary. Recovery is hard. You're going to want to stop. Everybody I know has wanted at some point to stop because it's getting a little bit too hard. And I know a lot of people that have. But I also know the people that did what I did. They stopped, turned around, and like, no, I can't do this. I've come this far. I got to keep going. They got to cross that point where the work is extra level hard, right? Because if you they didn't keep pushing, they're not going to get the beautiful view. I wouldn't have gotten the beautiful view. That is what my recovery was. I have a beautiful life. It's not about what I own. It's not about who I, it's not about what I own. It's not what I do for a job. It's not right? I have healthy, wonderful relationships with my kids. My relationships with my children are different than I ever thought they would be because my kids aren't my everything. I am my everything. I've traveled, I've done things, I continue to push my boundaries, right? This website, putting myself out here on YouTube never would have been something I would have done. But what do I have to lose? Nothing. Nothing. Because even if these don't touch anyone else, I'm getting something out of it. I am touching my life and continuing to change my life. And if I touch anyone else or something I say gives somebody some hope of even a little bit that, you know what? Fuck yeah, I can do that too. I can do that. Then I've done what I was meant to do. And that's what that bridge gave me. The start of the bridge was my old life. The other side of the bridge was the new life. Now, coming across that bridge wasn't easy, but it was easier going the first time. And a year later, my youngest son and I went back to Gatlinburg, and I took him across that bridge, and I did that bridge. I was still apprehensive. I still had those butterflies, but not like I did the first time. And that's what a win is. It's not gone, but it does get better. It does get easier. And that's what it is about. That's what you get if you work it and realize you're worth it. Thank you. Love you all. Don't forget to check out the website and subscribe to the channel. Go to Facebook, like us on Facebook, join the group. So thank you again. Love you all. Bye.